I overheard my dad once telling one of his friends, Crystal likes helping people. I love taking care of people who love taking care of people. Those are the guys I want to help. We all came from literally all areas of the globe. The thing that binds us is the Scientology religion itself.
Golden Era Productions is part of the Church of Scientology International.
We produce all the audiovisual used throughout the church.
Films, documentaries, public service announcements.
From literacy programs to drug education.
Everything that we produce here is helping that one-on-one person. It educates them and it helps them and it helps people, millions of people around the world. And it's done right from here. Mr. Hubbard originally formed Golden Era Productions to do the films of Scientology.
He realized that in the modern age we live in, if Scientology were to be correctly taught the way it's supposed to be, people would need to see how it's done. He wrote a core body of films, which comprise a total of 26 films, and within them is contained the basics of the scriptures.
In such a way that's artistic and aesthetic.
It's like a visual Bible for Scientologists to be able to apply the principles of L. Ron Hubbard.
These were not dry films. I mean, these were films that were full of life and full of characters and full of examples.
Welcome down with your sir.
And that's why the studio exists here.
First off, it's a very large campus with a lot of buildings and a lot of square footage.
We have 500 acres of grounds here that are absolutely stunning.
Originally, before we bought it, this used to be a resort. In fact, it was called Gilman Hot Springs. We purchased it in 1978 and we built it into this, spectacular studio. There's over 100 different buildings here, be it the studios or the music studios or the apartments.
This is where we live.
It's really extraordinary the amount of care that goes into making sure we're doing well, that we have everything we need.
All the way down to a personal staff dentist.
Everything is in-house. Like, you have all these facilities that you need for production.
It really is a distraction-free environment that you can just create.
This is our main studio. We call it the Castle. It's 72,000 square feet of production facilities. It includes art department, costumes, makeup, research, sets and props, construction. It has 2 sound stages, the largest of which is 20,000 square feet, which is the equivalent of a football field or 4 NBA basketball courts. And it's one of the largest freestanding studios in North America. Every single person that works here is an artist. You get creative people with creative people, and you get fantastic products, award-winning documentaries, ads, and so forth.
We don't set limits on creativity.
And the artistry extends across every single department.
We have 22 editing stations. We produce over 2,400 films and videos in a year.
We have a lot of footage that comes in here. We have 140 hours of footage from 20 countries that comes in weekly.
This is the music department in Golden Era Productions, where we do all the music for all our videos, films, ads, and TV shows. In the last year, we scored and recorded and mixed over 28 hours of music, which is about 14 feature films worth of music.
Making films is a hot activity. It's fast. There's many activities happening. There's many projects going on at the same time.
We don't just do films here. We're responsible for the entire legacy of L. Ron Hubbard. Here is where we have his original written scriptures that form the very core of our religion.
We have 1 million pages of Mr. Hubbard's original manuscripts and his research notes. Something like 250,000 files for every day of every year.
We're following his chronological path day by day, his research path.
Transcribing, proofreading, typesetting.
Every word matters, every piece of content matters, nothing's going to be edited, and it has to be perfect.
We verify every word and every comma to make sure that it is exactly as he wrote it.
There's 2 aspects. There's preservation and there's restoration.
This is the audio restoration area, and here we've restored over 2,000 of Mr. Hubbard's lectures. He gave lectures from the late 40s to the 50s and 60s, and those recordings are sometimes pretty rough to hear.
About 7 months ago, I remember sitting back and saying, well, that's that.
So we do what we do here to restore and bring his voice out so you can hear him just as if you were standing there talking to him.
About 7 months ago, I remember sitting back and saying, well, that's that.
In doing this, we had an effect on the entire field of audio restoration, actually developing new technology to make those recordings available.
Another thing we do here other than produce new films, is we restore some films that might have been shot 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Film that would have, by any standard, thought to be completely unable to be salvaged.
And here at Golden Era Productions, we have probably the top film restoration technology in the entire world because it is that important to us.
We take this very seriously because we're actually delivering the message from the scriptures of our founder. The first step is analog film. We scan it into the computers, then we have digital content. We've been scanning for almost 10 years now, resolution that's 8 times higher than HD, so we're actually pioneers into the field.
This is like NASA level technology.
We go through and we clean every frame one at a time, and we've actually done a total of 3.2 million frames so far.
And that's the responsibility we have being entrusted with the original scriptures, is to maintain the exactness, to maintain the integrity of those documents. You could liken it to a bridge and an engineer building a bridge. There's an exact degree of perfection. There's an exact standard to make sure that that bridge is safe for others to cross.
Everything we do here gets sent to the translations unit.
Right here on this property, we produce 16 languages. There's Chinese, Russian,
Norwegian, or Danish, or Greek.
And I think what makes us international is that our message and what we're doing is international.
Another one of the activities the studio engages in are international events.
They're absolutely packed with people from all over the world.
From Germany, Greece, Italy, France, the UK, Canada, Japan, Taiwan. And the excitement starts here, right from the first moment we start producing, all the way until the moment when the curtain opens.
It's always quite a moment when the leader of the church walks on stage. The events give Scientologists an opportunity to hear what is happening within the religion and within our social betterment programs.
There's nothing quite like it. To have that view backstage and peeking through the curtains to see what that means to everybody, I mean, it's priceless. It really is. It's amazing.
Within a week, that event will be shown to every Scientologist throughout the world in their own language.
They can see what the results of their own actions are doing and how much what they're doing is actually helping the world.
There is another aspect to this place. For me, as a Scientologist, it's kind of personal. When I was about 8 years old, I realized that I wanted to be an artist. And I realized the way to change the world was through art.
Every day that I'm working means another day that I might keep a kid off drugs. You know, every day that I'm finishing a public service announcement might mean that someone in some corner of the world is going to see it and it's going to give them hope.
We're saving lives, and that is what gets us up in the morning. That is how you go to bed at night.
And that is very special to us. We feel very honored to be able to say that that is what we do.
Every lecture that we restore, every film that we make, it's part of that. It's a brick on that bridge. It's a pathway to a better life for someone. So suddenly my job and what I'm doing is so much more meaningful because of the impact it could have on someone else's life.
So that's what we're doing here at Gold. We're disseminating that good word and that help to others.